Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Sips and Stencils. So today we are sipping a grande iced coffee with sugar-free vanilla and half. And the stencil we are going to be using is this one right here from Scrapping Reflections. This is the Wave stencil. I'm going to be stenciling over the world. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I have that kind of repeated map paper down, and I am going to go ahead and use my blender brush through the stencil. And you guys, I'm not adding any ink to the stencil. Now, this is probably a ridiculous amount of ink that is still on my blender brush, but I only use my blender brushes for my close to my heart inks, and they sit right on top of like this little twirly caddy. So I don't feel like I'm contaminating my inks. I'm not, mixing it with distress oxides or anything that's reactive like those kinds. It's just close to my heart ink, and I use only blue for the blue one, only pink for the pink one, only red for the red one. So I feel like that is okay, right? I probably should clean them, but who has time for that? So I go ahead and get that down. And then what I'm going to do is just shift the stencil ever so slightly. And I'm using a small blender brush. And this is the one that I have my teal on. Now this blender brush is falling apart. The bristles are falling out of it. And it's the only blender brush that I have that it's doing it to. So I don't know if I just got like a bad brush or I did something to it. Who knows? But for this one, I am going to add ink. So as you can see, I shifted that stencil up ever so slightly, and then there is this white line right there. So I went ahead and I'm inking directly over that. So what that's going to do is give me double the color. So I'll have the blue and the teal color over one section. Then I will have the teal by itself over another one. And it is a very subtle effect. If I did something with brighter colors or more contrasting colors, you would definitely see this a lot more. But like I said, it's just a subtle effect. And you probably, nope, I don't even think you can see it on camera. So you're probably like, that was a waste of time, but I promise it wasn't. In real life, you can actually see it. So this photo is the sign of the Jungle Cruise. Now, when we went to this trip on the Jungle Cruise, I've already scrapbooked the story and the photos to go with it. But when we went on this trip, what had happened was we got off of the Jungle Cruise. It had started to pour, so they kind of like zoomed us through, and we got off of the Jungle Cruise, and we were kind of chilling out under the overhang. Well, there was so much rain and so much water that they kept having us go back further and further and further in the line queue. I just said something redundant. Drives me nuts in the queue. And it was just pouring like water. It felt like water was coming up from the ground. But this is just the Jungle Cruise kind of, here it is. No story. It's just literally the Jungle Cruise. So I've got those 6x6 papers, and I went ahead and kind of did them in a funky little stack. And what that is going to do is layer over top this double blue striped paper. Now this double blue striped paper is from Making with the Manufacturers on Monday. I had a brain freeze for a moment, you guys, like it wasn't coming to me. Where I cut off the double blue stripy bits from the LE Studio paper. But I figured that if I tore it and put it down like this, it would be a good match. Now I went and pulled out this sticker book because I thought for sure there was a Jungle Cruise boat on it, but I think I was confusing myself with the Simple Stories at the Park collections. This is not a photo from the trip that I'm using the At the Park collections for. This trip is kind of all over the place. There isn't any theme or any kind of specific line or collection or colors or anything like that. This is a woo all over the place trip. But our most recent trip, the one we just got back from this year, that's going to be at the park. So I say all that to say I confused myself. But I am using my Disney Kugis to pull out some embellishments because I want there to be a little kiss of Disney on this page, like a little, here's some Disney. I just don't want it to be super themed. So now you get to look at my sticker book and my paper pad, which is always exciting, right? I love it when people show their supplies. Like, even if it is just sitting around on their screen, I just love seeing what people have. I love touching people's stuff too. Like, absolutely adore it. When I go to retreats and crops and things like that, it is everything inside me to not just go touch people's stuff and flip through their things. Not because I want it. Well, I do find things that I want to buy, but not because I want to take their things. It's just because I like touching the stuff. Like, I like looking at it. I like flipping through it. I like seeing the products. It's just a fun time. So when people have their stuff out on their YouTube videos, I'm like, yes, stuff. I wish I could touch it. So I have these Mickey heads, and I'm going to go ahead and put one or two. I can't remember. I did this layout a couple days ago in preparation for the weekend, because I will be scrapbooking this weekend at a weekend crop / retreat, however you want to call it. So I'm excited about that. Just needed to get the videos done ahead of time so that I could get to scrapbooking. So I do have something that says best ride ever. Is it the best ride ever? Sometimes. Jungle Cruise is a favorite. There aren't very many rides in Walt Disney World that aren't a favorite. Let's be honest, there are some that I just can't handle. Rock and Roller Coaster is one. The new Guardians of the Galaxy, that is not going to be an every trip for me, people. It is intense, and it's an awesome ride. Like, don't get me wrong, it is awesome. But probably about 45 seconds before it ended, I was like, I gotta get off of here. This is no more good. I hit my limit with it. So not an every trip ride. Jungle Cruise, as long as the line isn't sickening ridiculously long, then it's an every trip ride. So I am going to just add some little stickers and bits, just trying to bring in the multitude of colors that are going on in this layout. And then of course I'm going to grab some enamel dots to finish it off, because enamel dots are always something fun to finish off your layout with. And I am sprinkling them about, just making sure that they are not in a straight line. Gonna add a little bit more adhesive on those sticky notes because the sticky's kind of popping off. And then that is gonna do it for this layout, you guys. So, you can see the little dual colors on the waves a little bit better in the close-ups. That is gonna do it for this layout. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.